that you?
Hey.
Hey, oh hey, cameras
JT.
and all. Hey, Nitty.
Hey,
Come
do you
on.
mind if we film the rehearsal today?
Filming a... No, I don't mind filming a rehearsal. I like to put my practice mistakes down for posterity. Come on
Okay,
in.
thank you.
How are you?
Good, good. You doing okay today?
Good. Merry
Good.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Howie's
All
already
right.
here ready to practice.
All right, here we go. So we have our little Christmas tree set up here too.
Well, that's actually my big Christmas tree. I know what this is. This is like an undercover expose for Nashville Cribs, isn't it? So let me show you. And of course, you come on a day when I let the housekeeping crew and my stylist off. So you're in the foyer.
Can never find good help these days.
Well, I do, but they don't stay. Anyway, this is the foyer.
Yeah.
This is the home office area.
Office.
Now, the north or the southeast wing, that's where all the bathrooms are. So
Okay.
in case anybody needs a tinkle, that's all
Yep.
the way down there. And this area, this is the home,
The living suite.
the home theater here is what this is.
Ah, awesome.
Let me see if I can get the kids to turn that TV down. You haven't
Comfortable.
met my kids, have you? This is Imagine, and this is Airy. Together, they're imaginary.
Imaginary.
Yeah.
All right.
Named after their mother. Speaking of their mother, I love her to death. Don't get me wrong, but even though she's imaginary, all the time, I swear. So,
You want to show us some photos and stuff?
sure, I can
Okay. Okay.
give you a little bit of a background because you probably might have noticed. Come on in, by
Yeah.
the way. Should be plenty of room. You probably noticed some abnormalities, meaning this hand, which is paralyzed, and that's why it looks the way it does. And this walking boot, these are the two most obvious things. This walking boot here, I can't do anything without it. I can't put my foot on the floor. In medical terms, I'm at what they call toe touch, which means you can't put any weight on your ankle. And it's been that way for 3.5 years because 3.5 years ago, I was involved in a horrendous head-on car crash. And let's, there's a picture of me 8 months after the crash. That's what I look like. And
Go back to that one.
Let's see, there it is. Can you see me? And then somewhere in here is a picture of my van. Where is it? There it is.
Good grief.
That's what I was in. There's not much room for a human being in
my
that little
word.
space right there.
Yeah.
It's there. But that's what happened to me, and I was 3.5 years ago, and I've 8 broken ribs, 19 broken ribs in all, and the injuries you can see aren't really the ones that are the worst. This thing right here, they had to cut my throat to get some air into me, and I'm not supposed to eat solid food. And I used to be such a great singer, they were saying I was the next Pavarotti. No. But anyway, they didn't leave me much to sing with. And I used to play guitar and bass and drums, played bass and drums simultaneously. Right.
I remember,
before
I've
this
seen you
happened.
do that, yeah.
And really the moral of the story here is, a lot of bad things have happened to me. And I could easily be the victim. I could just, lay down in bed and wait for the rapture, Or God, people kept saying all the time, God brought you back because he has a plan for you. And it was hard to believe that God had a plan for me in the shape I'm in. But it turns out that, God does have a plan for me. And the fact is, I'm no longer a victim. I'm a vessel. If I can change one person's thinking from they can't do it to it is possible. With God, all things are possible, and I'm living proof of that right here. I have every excuse not to do anything. And God's given me the abilities. I had to learn how to play keyboards. A couple months ago, I couldn't tell you a C from a G on a keyboard. I had to learn a way to get these songs heard. And that's why you guys are here, to practice. Let me hide this thing in case the kids are watching. We don't want to scare the kids away. But you should have seen me today at church. I was Jesus. And we did the nativity at church, and I was Jesus. Can you imagine? But that's my message. Miracles happen. At the hospital, they called me the Miracle Man, believe it or not. Now we'll continue the tour. This section here, this is actually the bedroom section, but it's where I keep my fine art. This is my Monet, and my Renoir, and my Picasso. This is Emma Renoir, she was 4, and Joey Renoir, he was 2, and this Picasso, that's Carlos Picasso. You know Juan's brother? They're big in Tijuana. Oh yeah, they sell a lot of paintings down in Tijuana. And here's the studio. I don't know if you've got a telephoto lens. If you can see all the way down into that wing, it's where I keep my studio. You know how some artists, they like a big, spacey studio? Not me. I like mine real cramped like this. It really brings on the pressure to write. You know what I'm saying?
You got to work with what you got.
You know that. And also, I had one of the LDs, that's lighting director for those in the industry. I had him come over here and do a special lighting for me. See? Gets me in the mood, makes me feel like I'm playing Bridgestone.
It leaves a is there any way you can shut that off, because it leaves it leaves it leaves a nice big huge purple streak there. That's better.
Thing.
Yeah.
You bring in an LD and he just puts too much in.
Yeah.
And for everything he charged me for it too.
So you're gonna play us a song, JT?
Well, you're going to sing along on it, so just to show you a little bit about what I'm doing. Like I said, not too long ago, I didn't know that note from that note, and had to learn how to do this so I could get the songs out there. I could go to people and say, here's what I got in mind, and it just never came out the way, great musicians too, and they wrote great songs, but it wasn't what I had in mind. And I have to do this so I can keep time. I'm going to keep myself honest with the click track. This is called That's a Good Cry, and it goes out to my daughter. When I woke up from my coma, my daughter was crying. She was the first thing I saw, or the first thing I recognized. And she was crying, and I couldn't figure out why, because I didn't know who or where I was. And it turns out she was crying because I was alive. She may not tell that story the same way now, but back then she was crying because I was alive. And there are good things that make you cry. And this is one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ever been around for the sound a brand new baby makes when she cries for the very first time? No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, the tears just well up in your eyes, and that's a good cry. That's a good cry. You ever see a man on one day in the middle of a baseball field, just proposing with a ring in his hand? He's waiting on the answer for the rest of his life, along with thousands of fans, till that girl nods her head. Yes, you feel your heart in your chest, and the tears just well in your eyes. That's a good cry. That's a good cry. That's a good cry. That's a good cry. Hey. I can still see my grandma sitting on the front porch with that faraway look in her eye, staring down the road. She was waiting on grandpa coming back from WWII. had a good cry. 'Cause she's gone to Jesus. 'Cause she's gone to Jesus. She's gone to Jesus.
That's a good cry.
Good cry.
That's a 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 good cry. Ooh, That's a good cry. Thank you for coming out. Merry Christmas, you too.
Hey, thank you, JT. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. I'm glad you got a sense of humor still.
Thank you.
All right, take care.